Hi, this is Gib-San of Screen Reality Games, and you're watching Stonehearth. Now, what is Stonehearth, you might be asking? Well, not to be confused with the collectible card game of a very similar name, Stonehearth is a settlement management game similar to the likes of Dwarf Fortress or RimWorld, but focusing more on the aesthetics of the actual buildings than being a hardcore survival game. Basically, I like to think of it as if Settlers has had too much to drink over the holiday period and shacked up with Minecraft, producing a fairly promising looking offspring that's still in its fledgling alpha stages, yet with enough content to warrant making this video. I will put links in the description below to the Stonehearth homepage as well as the Steam store page if this video has piqued your interest and you'd like to look further into it, but without further ado, let's get into the actual content of the game and I'll show you what it's all about. So here you have one of the first villages that I put together. By that I mean one of the first ones that didn't have random houses scattered around with no real sense of purpose or being. But you see it's a nice collection of generally wood houses. The ones at the back actually came pre-built in with the game. You can just copy and paste them down, so we've got like the double bedrooms and then the dining room just behind them over there. They come in, you put them down and set them away, your villagers will then build them and live in them, whereas the ones in the middle here I've actually created myself, copying the blueprints from the larger ones. As you can see I messed up with one of them there, which is why there's no texture on the pillar. Got a nice little farm area down here and then our storage room over there. I actually dug the storage area out of the dirt and then built the brick walls around it, filled it with these wooden boxes which you can go ahead and click on, and as you can see you can store things you like. You don't really need to do that, although it does make it slightly safer from raiders and stuff, although I've not really had too much problem. As you can see I've just got random piles of wood outside there for building more gear. Collection of berry bushes up on the hill, which is a really important thing to be near for the start, but I'll get into that later when I get more into the tutorial aspect. And then up on the hill here we have our mine, nice bunch of ore in there, and that's basically it for the average run-of-the-mill starter village. So here we have something a little more interesting, the desert area. You do actually get two types, you get like the forest and the desert, as well as two different races of people. I've just noticed there's a goblin camp over there, so probably go and show you stuff with that later. But yeah, as you can see I've built this nice little living quarters motel area. This is all hand built, no pre-used blueprints here. Got the crafting area outside with the stone, the woods, the cloth and the mining smelting area even. So what basically I did, I dug this out the mountains, built it all itself, which is why it's a bit weird with the way the walls work. I think I've only furnished that thing, busy working on the furniture for the other two. But yeah, that's nice enough. Got a giant pile of rock that I dug out of the mountain there in order to build it. And then we've got this little structure here, which was our makeshift bedding area, which I'm now turning into the dining and social area for the people. Is that a goblin? No, that's not a goblin, that's one of our villagers, probably the trapper. But as you can see, we actually have a goblin village over here that's full of actual goblins this time. As you can see, we've got the warlord there with some of his mates. But as it's night time, we probably should do something about that before they come over here and try to take all our shiny stuff off us. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to click on the party menu to bring that up here. As you can see, I've already got a party available because we have had some problems with goblins in the past. And party number 1 isn't the most exciting name, so I'm just going to delete that and rename it to the Smart Party. Comment in the comment section if you get that reference, we do use it quite a lot, so you may have heard it before. And I'm going to go and add the extra footman we've got there, which is Kit Pap. So as you can see, we've got a party of 3 now. Just going to go ahead and grab those, go over to where the threat is, click the sword icon and drop our banner down, and our guys should grab their weapons and start making their way over there to deal with the situation. As you can see, we've just got a trader turn up there. It does happen every now and then where they'll buy and sell things off you. It's quite useful to make a bit extra profit, but I think, yep, he was heading there by himself, so I'll just pull the flag back a bit, give them a kind of rally point way to get together before I send them in, just to stop him from running to his death. The AI is actually quite good on that. They won't just run stupidly into battle unless you tell them to, which, you know, that does happen every now and then. But yeah, so now that they're all together, I'm gonna gather them up again and put the banner a little closer. Nope, I think one of them's away. No, it's turned around. I thought they were just like, nope, not having any of that. So let's hope that 3 footmen is enough to deal with this. I've got one goblin that's come out to meet us by himself, so that's not going to end well for him. Yeah, he's dead already. The warlord is now engaged, and we've got another 3 warriors to deal with by the look of it. First one, second one down. You see our guy on the top there took a bit too much damage and turned around, and he's actually been fairly smart, dropping aggro, switched onto one of the other guys, and the other 2 managed to take out the other goblins, so it's just the warlord chieftain left. He's taken a kicking and he's down, and he's dropped us some shiny loot as well. So what have we got here? It's a giant bone axe. It's quite useful. Set that to loot so someone can come and pick that up, and yeah, take out the chest. Got some more shiny things. So unfortunately for the goblin villagers that are standing around in panic, we are going to have to destroy the entirety of this village. Otherwise it'll just keep respawning warriors and it'll keep trying to steal all of our things, which isn't what we want. Doesn't look like they actually want to go and fight anymore, so I'll have to click and move them further in. So yeah, they should take out these buildings. That pile of skulls in the middle is basically what they spawn at. But no, they've decided that they're out for blood and they're just going to kill all the goblins. So probably going to turn into a bit of a massacre, so I guess I'll just end this section of the video here. So back in the main menu, just going to go ahead and click new game. And this is a story of a brave band of settlers from, and you get your 2 race choices. You've got the Ascendancy, which are earnest, hard-working, loyal citizens, well-rounded, they're basically your average villagey villagers. And then you have the Raise children, if I pronounced that right, which I probably didn't. And the desert people that learn to survive early. Not really sure what the difference is, so I'm just going to go ahead and pick the Ascendancy. They're a prosperous and industrious kingdom. Seeking new lands for adventure, they set off to either a temperate foresty area or a desert area. I mean, the temperate is generally easier for starting new games because you get a lot more wood for early building and a lot more random plants to eat off, so I'm just going to go ahead and start with the forest, the Darkmoon Forest. And then you get your difficulty, which is like normal or peaceful, depending on whether you like goblins or sheep. And as you've seen, fighting goblins can be fun, so we're going to go ahead with the goblins and select begin. And then you get given a bunch of random villagers to play with. They all come with stats, which is mind, body and spirit. Mind basically helps crafting, body helps with fighting and building, and spirit does something again I don't really know about. But this seems like a good lot. And then you have 150 gold to spend. Now, I did originally go with the food to start with, so it's like farm a hoe and a bunch of food, seemed like a good start, but after playing I found it's really easy to get that stuff, and the trapper's knife, for all it looks expensive, is probably the best thing to pick up, so just going to go ahead and grab that there. It'll then load you into choosing the biome options screen when it loads in. Basically here it gives you a quick overview of the map from the top down. Again, you can re-roll it just by clicking away on the bottom down there. It does take a bit of time to load in between each of the different seeds, and you can just have a look through, see if anywhere takes your particular fancy. Or the other option is you can just type in a world seed, just random number, whatever you want, just bang it in the bottom there, and it'll make a thing based off that. There is probably a couple of places online that will show you what good seeds are for starting. You've got the areas there, little squares, and on the right hand side it'll tell you how much like wood resource it's got, how much wildlife it's got, and how much mineral life. You generally want something that's got a good mix of each, unless you want to do a particular like type of build. But for starting with, it's good to have a decent amount of wood, some wildlife for food, and then minerals for crafting, trading, and other such junk later on. So just trying to find somewhere I want to be. This is always the hard part. Not like it really matters, because I'm only just going to show you the very basics of how to get started. But take my time anywhere. Let's see. This one looks good. Yep. And then you click settle here. You get a nice little loading screen. I do like all the loading screen artwork. It's quite pretty, although I don't actually know who these bunny people are. I don't know if they're going to be like a playable race, or they're going to be another random NPC race that turns up from time to time. But they do look fairly cool, so I'll give them that. And then finally you're in the world with a load of trees right in the thing. Let's zoom out here a little and have a look around. So basically it tells you to put down a banner, and that's where your campfire goes, it's where you start from. Just gonna have a quick look around here looking for berries, because they are relatively important. We've got quite a lot of, it's quite a decent thing, although I can't, oh there we go, I can't find berries. So one of the important things is when you're dropping a thing is that you really want to be near as many berries as you can. I'm just going to see if there's any better areas around here. Got some quite funky statues going on up there, they're always nice for having around. But I like what I can do with the water here. There's 2 berry bushes around about there. So this looks probably like the best place I'm going to find. Again, not like it matters because I'm not going to be on this that long, but I'm just going to dump that down there. So all your people turn up and you get to name your settlement, which I really can't think of a name right now. That's spelled wrong. Mightiest of Empires. It's a name, you can spell it whichever way you want, and I don't really care, he says, knowing that's going to annoy him for the rest of this video. Once you put the campfire down, it's probably best to press the 1 key, as that's the speed settings down below. You've got your pause, you go, and your fast. So once you pause, you can look at your guys. Obviously I've got 2 tools now. I've got the trapper knife and the carpentry saw. So looking for people to make that. Tracker? Whatever. It's probably the more important one. So, yep, trapper. Make that person. It's good for getting food and fur. And then I need a carpenter, which will be this fella here. So you just basically click the guy, click the symbol on the tree, and then stamp it down to make it proper. You can change it whatever you want, so there's no problem. And I'm just going to grab the harvesting tool and grab the berries. Make sure people get food coming in so no one gets hungry. And there we go. I thought I'd lost the other set of berries there. And then there's no point of having a carpenter without having wood, so just going to highlight some trees. Selection tool is a bit weird when it comes to water or other things you can't go over. But yes, you just grab the area, press play, and the fellas will start running off and gathering their tools and what have you. So once you've got all that underway, just gotta wait for this fella to pick up his saw there, and then I can click on him and tell him to start building some gear. So first thing you want is you want your workbench, that's so you can start building things. Tell him to get that on the go, and then I'll queue up a farmer hoe, because farming food is far better than just eating berries. And also you can make all sorts of other stuff, so you can make like beds and chairs and windows and doors and shields and other stuff. But yes, you can choose to craft one, or you can select maintain and tell him to build a set amount. And then you click on the little saw thing and it moves it over to the right hand side of the window, where he will make that amount until he gets bored. Yeah, so just tell him to put his actual crafting bench down so you can start crafting. Don't know why. And he's not even going to do that himself, he's going to make his mate put the crafting bench down for him while he wanders off and gets some wood. And I suppose he does need wood to craft things. And I've just realised I probably should have designated an area to put all of this crap into. So I generally make like a, what's called like a resource, like a wood, stone and other such stuff. It's about 9 by 10, sorry 9 by 20. I prefer my odd numbers, but 9 by 20 days, so that's for all of the raw resources. I'll then do a 9 by 9 for food and shiny things. And then I'll do another 9 by 9 for everything else, which is essentially your constructed things, your tools and your weapons and armour. No real reason for this, it's purely just cosmetic, and because it's the way I have been doing stuff, it's kind of become a bit of a habit now. But I think it's a good little starting area near to the main camp. If you make it too large, it becomes a bit of a pain to move it later on. Obviously you do have that problem with the larger like resource areas, but you do have a lot of resources to pick up. But yeah, basically that's the gist of that. You need to move them before building structures on top of them. But now that I've got a farming hoe thing, I'm just going to click on this person here, again tell them to be a farmer, which is unlocked the tool available, and stamp it down again. And I guess I should start building some farms. So you go to that there, take your zoning tool, same one you put down the other zones with. And to start with, I'll select a trapping area, so you go to where there's some wild fluffy animals, and you put down a size. I generally prefer to have a couple of small ones, but for the sake of this I'll just drop down a big 30 by 30. So she's going to start gathering foxes for leather and meat. And then you go to the farming one, which is the green one. Now this is one where size does actually matter. It's generally better to have odd numbers, and it's generally better for them to be square. Basically it's just to get the most amount of resource for the amount of land that it takes up. And then you select different crops. I usually start with turnips, carrots and corn, because turnips and carrots grow really fast but they're not that satisfying, whereas corn takes longer and everybody likes corn. So you get the farm on the way, she will start digging up the area there. And what's next? Well, I suppose I probably should make somewhere for these people to live. So you go there, you can select your foundations and you just drag an area. You then click on the walls, put a wall down, click on the roof, put a roof down when it goes on, and put a door. And there you go. That's how easy it is to build a custom made house. It looks a bit dull, obviously you can jazz it up, but it would be fully functional for that. However, I'm just going to delete all that because it's unnecessary. I'm going to go to the pre-made buildings. This is where all of the stuff is, some of the things I've made. But yeah, you get a shared sleeping quarters, it looks nice, and it has 4 beds, it's all fully furnished already. So you just bang that down, you select yes, I'm ready to start building, and then your guys will start putting wood in it. As it's night time, obviously the fire goes off. I do really like that fire effect. And why am I not building anything here? Did I not tell them to make beds? I must have told them not to maintain. So generally I like to have a maintain of one of everything in a supply area. So there'll be always one bed, always one chair, always one window, always one door. It means it's easy enough for them to get hold of when they need to, although I do need 8 beds now. So how many have I got already? Whatever, I'll tell them to make a bunch. There you go, he's making a bunch of stuff. So Todd, was it? I think whoever that fellow is, he's going to start making stuff. Also, I'll tell him to make a hammer and chisel and a cotton reel. They are for other professions. He can't make them just yet because he's not a high enough level. But when he gets around to being a decent level, he will then, make that sort of stuff. And people will be able to make more things. I need some torches, lanterns. Lanterns and shields are always good ways of making money. But as you can see, you put it down, people start building. That's only enough for half my villagers, so I'll put another one there. Doesn't really matter where because it's just a demo tutorial looking thing. But yeah, so bang down 2 houses, and I guess I'll wait for them to start building these. That's pretty much it for the tutorial really, so I'm just going to wait it out till morning, watch me fail my first daily challenge, because basically you get rated every morning based on how much food you've got, how happy your people are, and how much your town is worth. If you've hit these certain key milestones that it gives you each day, then you will be able to get an extra villager, which is there more hands to do more stuff, to get more villagers to basically grow your community. As you can see, the time's ticking around in the top corner. Probably should have pointed that out now. It's only one segment left in the night cycle, and then when that ticks over, it will become day. There we go, bam, daytime. All the sun will come up. It's all nice and shiny. As you see, the guy's digging his foundations there. Some of the people are having a kip. Any second now, it will tell me how I've done. But yeah, if you like this game, check in the description below for the links for how to go ahead and purchase it. I've definitely enjoyed it. I definitely think it's worth getting. Sean's got a carpenter level who's called Sean. He was called Todd. Don't know where I got that from. But yeah, so feel free to check the links in the description for more info about this game. Definitely looks good now, and it's only going to get better. Bam, there's my daily update available. So let's see how we did after I've just grabbed some of that crafting area there. There we go. Didn't have enough food. plenty of morale, and just shy on the net worth. But no problem. Well, that's probably going to be me calling this an end to this video, so feel free to like and subscribe below, and thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.